we have to agree and abide by the decision of INEC because it's in line with the extant law. The number of cancelled votes, which is actually 3,498, it's far more than the 353 difference between our party and the other party. So I think rather than making noise, I think what we all need to do as a people, as a party, is to go back to the people and encourage them to come out and vote on Thursday and decide who would actually lead them. It's not about the party, it's about the people.
I'm sure you've heard severally about the legal provisions, both with respect to Section 69 of the Electoral Act concerning declaration of results, and how they also compare that with Section 179 of the 1999 Constitution, where they think that the Constitution is the ground norm. It cannot supersede that of the Electoral Act. And so, predicating the argument on that, they clearly think that INEC should have declared them winner, because the cancelled votes remain the cancelled votes and have no business whatsoever in the elections, because INEC has the legal rights to even invalidate those votes in the first instance.
There is no conflict between the Constitution and the INEC guideline. What INEC guideline has simply done is to extend what the Constitution what is in the Constitution, by saying in addition to having tutored, in addition to being the wager winner, you must also look if there is actually no substantial difference between the cancelled vote and the margin between the major contenders. So there's no conflict at all. And this is not the first time this is going to be happening. And we've seen instances where the other party feels they would abide by that because they feel it's suitable to them. And in this case, they are saying no. And like I said the other time, we should not confuse the people. And for anybody who feels aggrieved, I think the code of law is there to interpret the Constitution, but we know very clearly that rather than condemning INEC, they should actually be commended. I think this is one of the most freest and fair election we have had in the country, cleanly contested, but devoid of all violence and irregularities that we've seen happen in some other places. So for us, our focus is on the second leg of this election. We believe so strongly in the commitment of our people to democracy, and as a party we are willing, and we've always proven that, of course, the rule of law and then the tenet of democracy is our guideline.
All right, interestingly, you represent Ife, correct me if I'm wrong on that one, and you say that there was no violence. Why then do you think INEC cancelled the elections in Ife?
Well, I think there is no process that is foolproof, 100%, but I think it's so large. If you look at, we have 3,010 polling units, and then we only had one of the polling units where there was, case of, violence or snatching of ballot boxes. That's in Norolu local government. So if you put that on percentage for a process that can record not less than 90%, achievement, I think by all standards that's excellent. We commend our people, the people of Osun, for displaying high level of maturity and civility, for proving once again to the whole world that of course we are people who are guided by what we call the Omoluabi ethos. We are virtuous people. And only very few states, and I repeat, can boast of the kind of decorum and civility that we experienced yesterday in the election. We are proud of them.
Well, even though now you said that there's a percentage of violence, but the PDP thinks that all of those ethos amounts to nothing if the right things are not done. But let me speak about this. Since you talk about various precedents, there are those who refer to several cases. One of such happens to be, they say, that there was an APC candidate who was declared winner of the 2018 Lokoja Kogi House of Reps by-election after polling 26,860 votes against PDP's Bashir Abubakar, who had 14,845. Now, in this case, the cancelled votes were 19,960. The margin there was 12,015, and that was less than the cancelled votes, just the same way now. But in that case, the APC candidate was declared winner, but in this case, INEC thinks otherwise. So don't you think that is a lot of inconsistency on the part of the authorities?
Yes, I also read about that instance that was cited. But we know that every system must at all times, ensure that it improves. The fact that it happened the way it did in that instance does not justify that it should continue to be so. You take, for instance, contrary to what we've seen in some other previous elections, yesterday's election, INEC did a better job. All the electoral materials arrived on time.
Honorable,
the process commenced quite early on time.
Okay, just to stick with the point that you raised.
Situation where the card readers functioned better.
We'll come to that. So, when you say that you also have read about the case, why is it that what happened there can't happen here? What's the difference in those two instances?
That is why I said that even INEC as a body, I'm not speaking for INEC, but what we'll all be saying as a people is that INEC should strive to do better. So for me, I mean, the fact that the law exists and perhaps it wasn't done